welcome back to another GeekaWhat video, and today I'm taking you over the best $800 gaming PC build for 2016. So let's kick it off with how it performs. You're going to be smashing the latest AAA titles at 1080 and 1440p ultra settings. You've even got some anti-aliasing at 1080p, but for 1440p to stay above that 60 FPS mark, you do want to turn anti-aliasing down. It's an incredibly solid build and is definitely going to be compatible with all of the latest AAA titles and gain some really good performance for the next 2 to 3 years. So let's get straight in with the parts, and as always, kick it off with the CPU. The CPU I went for was Intel's Core i5-6600. It's a quad-core CPU, meaning it's compatible with all of the latest AAA titles and even great for a little bit of editing, something like Sony Vegas or Premiere Pro. 3.3 GHz is a great clock speed, and it's their highest end i5 that isn't overclockable. Overclocking doesn't warrant the best price to performance and would add around another $100 onto this build for anything decent, so overclocking just wasn't an option. CPU caller, I did choose one. I chose the Hyper 212 Evo, and rather than opting for the stock one that comes in the box, which is technically free, which you can do no problem, this is going to be a much more streamlined and much more desirable experience. Unlike the stock cooler, this is quiet. The stock cooler is like a turbo boosted fan, because it just is. It's horrible, and this is a great CPU cooler. It's the most renowned CPU cooler you can buy, so you know you're in good hands here, and comes in at a very good price point. For the motherboard, ASRock's H110M-HDV ticks all the boxes. SATA 3 6GB per second, the nice fast interface between hard drives and SSDs. PCIe 3, which is the latest generation of sockets for your graphics card, so even the newer graphics cards, such as the one we've chosen, which need that higher bandwidth, are able to get it. And of course USB 3 for fast transfer speeds of like external hard drives and SSDs, USB sticks, memory card readers, all that kind of thing. Really solid motherboard, and it looks alright. For RAM, 16GB is now becoming the new 8. Now, if a year ago I'd have said 16GB of RAM and an $800 build, you would have laughed at me. But games, most recently Star Wars Battlefront, have actually gone, we want 16GB of RAM, and actually requested 16GB of RAM over the standardised 8. And that's why I've opted for this. It's better not to shoot yourself in the foot by having a great graphics card, but then not enough memory, because you don't want to bottleneck that beast of a GPU. It looks great, and it comes in at a quite fast clock speed of DDR4 2400 MHz. Now, for storage, an SSD and a hard drive separately is normally the best option, but given the price confides, it wasn't possible. So instead I went for a Western Digital Black. It combines the speed of an SSD and the capacity of a hard drive and meets somewhere in the middle. So you're not going to get as fast performance as a straight SSD and a single hard drive, but you are going to get something quite comparable. What it basically has is a flash chip inside that you would find in an SSD, and it uses your most frequently opened applications and files, including your Windows operating system, and actually moves those on there to theoretically provide speeds near enough to that of SSDs. But you've also got 1TB of capacity for all your movies, your music, and your games. The video card really is the star of the show in this build. Sapphire Radeon RX 480, an incredible card at a great price point with an 8GB frame buffer. It's an incredible card. Sapphire have done a great job as one of AMD's board partners here. It's just an incredible 1080 and 1440p graphics card. For the case, there was only one option. NZXT's S340 was one of my favourite cases of 2015, and 2016 hasn't changed that. With power supply shroud, SSD show-off area, and support for up to full-size ATX motherboards, you can't go wrong. And it also looks very sleek in either white, black and blue, black and red, plain black, or black and green Razor Edition. The power supply is easily one of the most overlooked components for many in a build. The EVGA600B is a 600 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. The 80 plus bronze certification means it's going to save you money at the wall, and it'll also increase the lifespan and longevity of your components. It's a solid power supply at a very solid price. And that wraps it up for my $800 build. I've done a load of builds recently, right from $300, and I'm going to go right up to $1,000. So if you haven't seen those yet, they're on the channel, and just go and have a look for them. But make sure to drop a like rating if you did enjoy it, drop a comment, or tweet me at GeekaWhat. And as always, we will see you in the next GeekaWhat video. I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk, Savannah.